So in the previous video, we have come across the vector form and the Cartesian form of line which is passing through a point and is parallel to a given vector. Correct, no? So that one example I will solve based on that previous derivation, and then we'll move on to the second derivation which I had mentioned in the previous video itself regarding the equation of a line passing through 2 points. So two ways of deriving an equation of a line. First one is with that line is passing through a point and is parallel to a given vector. Then second one is equation of a line passing through two given points. Okay. So the first one we have learned in the previous video. So this today we will be solving the example based on that. Okay. So this one, in the example they are telling that find the vector and the Cartesian equations of the line passing through the point this one 5 2 minus 4, and which is parallel to the vector this one. First I want you all to imagine this in the form of a derivation. In yesterday's previous video derivation we have come across. I'll make a rough diagram for that in such a way that first one is a point, that is A is a point, correct? No? A is a point and its position vector is A vector, which we have seen in yesterday's derivation. So here point A is 5 2 minus 4. Okay, so the line will pass through the point A. This is the line whose equation I should find out. So then there is another vector which is parallel. So this is the point B, that is B vector. Correct? This is the vector which is parallel to the line whose I am trying to find out. And there is a random point P, X, Y, Z. This is my R vector. Correct? So you should know the derivation correctly in order to start solving the problems. So this is very important to frame the diagram. Though this carries no marks and nobody is expecting you to draw this diagram, for your understanding it is better to draw this diagram and understand and then solve the problem. Okay? Otherwise you will get confused. What should I take A vector as? What should I take R vector as? What should I take B vector as? You will be confused. If you know how the derivation is done, whenever you see the question, you should understand that the passing through point is nothing but A, and this is nothing but the A vector. So which means A vector's components will be the same as this, that is 5i cap plus 2j cap minus 4k cap. So this is my A vector. And another one, that is B vector, which is given to me, is parallel vector, that is 3i cap plus 2j cap minus 8k cap. Okay, so these are the A and B vectors, and the equation, the vector form of equation is nothing but R is equal to A plus A vector plus lambda into B vector. Correct? This was the vector form of equation, and just substitute their corresponding values. R components are simply nothing but xi cap plus yj cap plus zk cap is equal to A is 5i cap plus 2j cap minus 4k cap plus lambda into B vector 3i cap plus 2j cap minus 8k cap, and this is it. The vector form of equation is that's it. Lambda you will keep it as it is. It need not be found out or anything like that. Okay. Just substituting the value and keeping it as it is nothing but the vector form. So this is my vector form. First part of the question is done over here. Vector form is done. Then the Cartesian form. Cartesian form formula is x minus x1 by A is equal to y minus y1 by B is equal to z minus z1 by C. Right? So here x1, y1, z1 are nothing but, which are the x1, this one. This is x1, y1, z1 components, and these are nothing but my A, B, C. Correct? If you have any doubts, please recall the derivation, which is what you need to understand only after the derivation is clearly understood. So substitute these values in this. x1 is nothing but 5 divided by A is nothing but 3. Y minus y1 is 2 divided by B is also 2. Then here z minus z1 is nothing but minus 4, so this will become plus 4. C is minus 8. So this is it about my Cartesian equation. So this is the Cartesian equation. Okay, this is the Cartesian equation which you need to understand clearly. This is the vector form, this is the Cartesian equation. We can still solve further and then get the better answer, that is in a proper XYZ form. But still, this is more than enough. This is what they are expecting you in your answer sheet. Clear? So understand this clearly, and then first you recall the previous derivation and then come to this particular problem. So this understanding is very important, so that we can easily move on to the next part of the derivation. Then that is the next derivation. Fine. So the second derivation, that is equation of a line passing through two given points. So in the previous one, as we told, it passes through one point and is parallel to any random vector. Now here it passes through 2 points, that is A and B. This is the line whose vector form and the Cartesian form whom I am supposed to find out. You can see this black line, black ink line which I have drawn, which is passing through point A and point B. Okay, let the coordinates of point A be x1, y1, z1, and let the coordinates of point B be x2, y2, z2. Okay, so these are the 2 points through which the line is passing through. And let me consider any random point P of x, y, z. As we have seen in the previous derivation also, I will take a random point P point x, y, z in such a way that I will be able to frame the equation. Okay, so now let me draw their position vectors. That is A position vector, I will name it as A vector. And this B point position vector, I will name it as B vector. Don't forget their components are x1, y1, z1 and x2, y2, z2 respectively. Fine. So this is the diagram and this is how it will look like. You can draw it in another way also, like this also you can draw. Any way you want you can draw. But make sure it passes through 2 points. Okay, A and B, and there is random P point in between them anywhere. So then let me consider the triangle AOP. This is the triangle which I am looking at, the first one. The smaller triangle, just a half a portion of this, AOP. Okay. So then, in this triangle, from vector law of triangle vector addition, so you can say that AP vector, this one, so that is AO vector plus AP vector is equal to OP vector. OA vector plus AP vector is equal to OP vector. This vector plus this vector is equal to this vector. Triangle addition. So then this condition I know, I will shift the OA that side, it becomes minus OA. Therefore AP vector is equal to OP vector minus OA vector. Then in the place of OP and OA, let me substitute their position vectors. That is AP vector is equal to R vector minus A vector. So this is one, let it be aside and keep it aside. Then let me take the bigger triangle, the full triangle AOB, okay, which is connected with the point B. So AOB I will take it, then I apply the vector addition. So that will be OA vector plus AB vector is equal to OB vector. OA vector plus AB vector is equal to OB vector. Then OA I will shift it that side. This OA will be shifted that side. It becomes AB vector is equal to OB vector minus OA vector. Okay. Then substituting their corresponding position vectors. AB vector is nothing but B vector is equal to OB vector is B vector minus A vector. Clear? So these two equations I'll keep it aside and then move to one more condition saying that AP and AB is here and AB is on that itself, correct? No? Therefore I tell that AP vector and AB vector are collinear vectors. Yes, one after the other or one above the other or one parallel to another or all collinear conditions. In the previous derivation we have come across that one vector is lambda times of another vector because it was parallel, and right now it is collinear vectors, and for the collinear condition is also the same as previous one, that is AP vector is equal to lambda into AB vector, lambda times of AB vector, that is AP vector is lambda times of AB vector. Any random, lambda is any random number, so it can be, this is the condition for collinearity or parallelity, whatever it is. In the previous derivation the same condition was used for parallel. Right now we are using it for collinear. Okay, so AP vector is equal to lambda into AB vector. Then I will substitute AP vector. AP vector I have found out it as R vector minus A vector. Then AB vector I found out it as B vector minus A vector. I will substitute them right here in this equation. Then I can simplify and write it in a proper vector form. That A I will shift it that side. It becomes plus A vector and plus lambda into B minus A vector. So this is the final form of my vector equation. Clear? So the previous, you can see the difference between this equation and this equation. When it is passing through only one point, it is simply A vector plus lambda into B vector. And it is passing through 2 points, it is A vector plus lambda into B minus A vector. That's the difference. So the best way to remember these formulas is comparing with each other derivations and remember. Okay? So we are done with the vector form of this derivation. Next, moving on to the next portion, next part of it, Cartesian form. As you know, the Cartesian form is simple as that. They are corresponding direction ratios or their coordinates. I should write it in the form of a vector. That R vector is having its components as x, y, z. Therefore, its vector point will be, vector way of writing it is xi cap, yj cap and z cap. Clear? So then, we move on to the A vector. The components are x1, y1, z1. I will write them x1i cap, y1j cap and z1k cap. Then moving on to B vector, its components are x2, y2, z2. Writing it in the form of vector is x2i cap, y2j cap and z2. I will write them correspondingly and then I will substitute in the vector equation which I just found out. Okay, R vector is equal to A vector plus lambda into B minus A. I will substitute, R vector is right here, this one. Then A vector is here, substitute it. Then lambda, then put a whole bracket. B vector you substitute minus A vector you write. Clear? This is just substitution part. Please go through each and every point which I have mentioned here. Maybe I am not explaining here, but it is completely written detailed in the board. So I want you all to pause it and see it clearly and understand what I am trying to tell. Fine? So I have substituted everything right here. First let me finish this subtraction of two vectors. We have done it in the vectors already. Subtraction of two vectors is nothing but component subtraction. That is here x2 minus x1 I cap, y2 minus y1 j cap, z2 minus z1 k cap. Okay? So this is about subtraction of two vectors and I have written it inside the bracket like this. Next comes this multiplication of a scalar into this particular vector. So here it becomes lambda into x2 minus x1 I cap, lambda into y2 minus y1 j cap, lambda into z2 minus z1 k cap. The rest of the things remains as it is, the same as it is. So then let me write it again over here. So this is simply addition of two vectors, this one and this one addition. So x1 lambda into x2 minus x1 plus here I cap, then y lambda into y2 minus y1 plus j cap, then after that z1 plus lambda into z2 minus z1 k cap. Here, so I just added these vectors and written it in the proper vector form. So I hope you have understood. If not, just pause the video and check what I have done clearly. It is complete step to step I have done it. It's not there like this in the textbook. The textbook is completely jumbled up, as in you have skipped many steps and so that you might get confused if you look into it. So but here I have written it clearly, so please go through this and understand what it is. Fine. Then, so I will write the left hand side and right hand side and compare with each other as we have done it in the previous derivation. So this x component, that is I component and I component, I will compare. That is x is same as this one, isn't it? X component is same as the first I component, this one here. I will write it here, x is equal to x1 plus lambda into x2 minus x1. x1 I will shift it this side, it becomes x minus x1. Then lambda into x2 minus x1 will remain. x2 minus x1 you take it to the denominator. So it will be x minus x1 is equal to x2 minus x1, which is equal to lambda. So the second one also the same way. So y is equal to this component, that is j's component. Y is equal to y1 plus lambda into y2 minus y1. Shift it. Y minus y1 is equal to lambda into y2 minus y1. Then again denominator, y minus y1 is equal to y2 minus y1 is equal to lambda. Fine. Then the same way the last one as well. That is equal to z1 plus lambda into z2 minus z1. This last is equal to this one. So then shift it this side, z minus z1 is equal to lambda into z2 minus z1, denominator again, z minus z1 divided by z2 minus z1 is equal to lambda. So you can see all the three ratios are same, that is equal to lambda or some constant which is equal to each other. Therefore, the Cartesian form of this equation is x minus x1, x2 minus x1 is equal to y minus y1 divided by y2 minus y1 is equal to z minus z1 by z2 minus z. So this is the Cartesian form of my derivation or equation. Vector form is right there, and this is the Cartesian form. Okay, so clearly understand, go through this video once again, and understanding this is going to be the important key for the other derivations as well as the other numericals. Fine. So let me know if you have any doubts. Continue in the next video. Thank you.